Hello, happy Halloween. ah, I couldn't resist. Oh, sure, I could have gone for the full costume, but I figure I'm weird enough as it is. Welcome, everyone, to Suzi-Q&A Halloween Party. I am drinking a nice glass of rich red blood to go with the Halloween theme. It is actually, strawberry wine. It tastes like chocolate-covered strawberries. My daughter says that I'm very, very silly. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to get this going here. Sure. Okay. So what we can do here is I want you to chat in your question, and I'll give you a live reading right here. Welcome to the Suzi-Q&A Halloween party. Woo! All you need to do is chat in your question and let me know what it is that you need to know. I'm looking here to make sure I've got everything the way I need it, and I don't have the, there we go. Social stream is up, chat is up. Hi Tasha, how are you? Happy Halloween. Cheers with my bloody blood wine. It's actually chocolate covered strawberry. It tastes very good. You have a question? Yes, I will draw some ghosties on here while I wait for y'all to enter your questions. If you have a question for me, I'll be happy to give you a reading right here. Welcome. I don't know if I can draw a bat. Got a picture of a bat. There we go. Now I have ghosts. Welcome to the Halloween party. This is my website, as if you couldn't tell. I'm Susan K. Morrow, also known as Suzi-Q&A. Why? Because I'm Suzi. You bring the cues, and I will provide the psychic A's. Please chat in your question if you have something to ask me, and I'll give you a live reading right here. In the meantime, you can go to my website and explore it. Ooh, I'm being silly. So please join me. Ooh, I got all messed up. Went to the grocery store a little bit ago. Got everything I needed. Got ready to do the Halloween party. So please chat in your question. If you're not already, if you don't have chat on this channel, you can sign up for it. And I'm not sure, since I'm looking at, my side of things and not yours. There's probably a place where you can sign up or sign in, and that way you'll be able to chat in your question. In the meantime, I can draw us a card. And I don't know if you caught my spooky thing. It's like, it's Halloween, I feel a little bit like Pee Wee Herman. So back in the day, back in the olden days when I was just a wee mystic, when I first started being a professional psychic, so I had a group of friends that I hung out with a lot. Still friends with them. We just don't hang out anymore because none of us live there anymore. But at that time, they all tended to call me spooky because they'd say, "You seem so normal. And then you come up with this really weird stuff." I'm like, "Oh, well, you know, what can I say? You're right. I look normal." I put the normal in paranormal. And I'll thank one of my friends from those days who gave me that tagline. Okay, I'm using my Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. My favorite deck of oracle cards. I always recommend oracle cards for all of my clients, and that includes you. They are made by Doreen Virtue, and she is definitely my favorite maker of cards. But you might also look her up for her philosophy, healing, angel readings, etc. I know that she teaches angel school as well. That's DOREENVIRTUE, PhD. Okay, the card we have is Dream Big. Let go of small thoughts about yourself and see yourself succeeding. Pretty cool. I love that. I get that instantly what that means for me, but what does it mean for you? It's really important for you to, it's not just about letting go of small thoughts about yourself like this says, but also letting go of negative thoughts about yourself, your career, your success, whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish. You need to spend some focused, energetic time on the ability to see yourself succeeding. I mean, that's really important to visualize, to live in that a few minutes every day. It's going to make a big difference for you. I've been reading a lot of Abraham Hicks lately, and I highly recommend it if you have not, if you have not read Abraham Hicks or seen any of their work. It's some really good stuff about law of attraction and vibration and energy and source energy and stuff like that. So I really highly recommend that as well. So we've got Dream Big as kind of a theme for tonight. If you chat in your question and let me know what you want to know, then we'll see how your question applies to that theme of Dream Big. I like Dream Big. So if you have a question, please chat it into the chat over on the, I think it should be on the right side, and let me know what your question is so that I can give you a reading right here. And in the meantime, you can visit my website. Ooh, see, I drew the little ghosties on there. Oh, I'm so clever. So very clever. Chat in your question. I'll be happy to give you a reading right here. In the meantime, you can peruse the website. Oh, I've got something exciting coming up. You want to be definitely on the mailing list because, and that's if you go to SusanKMorrow.com, and up in the right-hand corner it says sign me up. You want to be on the mailing list because you definitely want to know about this upcoming super special thing that I'm doing. So I'm kind of excited about that. In fact, I'm going to work on it a little bit while I'm sitting here talking to you. It's funny having, you know, a live show when you can't see the people and there's not a visible audience, and I can't even hear you. It's like being on the radio. So I have to kind of, you know, keep things going, and it's never a problem for me to keep talking, believe me. But I really am looking forward to getting your questions and doing some readings. Okay, like I said, I'm going to work on my special surprise right now. Oh, how exciting. It has to do with my VIP readings, and I think you're going to be pretty excited. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay, let's see here. Excuse me. Please feel free to chat in your question anytime on the Ustream channel, and I will give you a live reading right here. That's my work on the website, guys. I heard Kenny Rogers singing Coward of the County, at the grocery store tonight, which, you know, I'm such a sap. It just makes me cry every time. I did not cry in the grocery store. I'm very proud of myself for that. But if you like Coward of the County, you can text me that or chat me that right in and let me know. Ooh, hold on a second. Let's see here. What do we got? No, that's not the right color at all. Anyway, so let me know if you like Coward of the County, or if you don't like Coward of the County, or if you find it super annoying, or because it makes you cry. That's awesome. Okay. Like I said, I'm doing a little website work, working on my special surprise coming up for you, which I think I will announce on Halloween. I think that's appropriate. You know, nothing that I do has to do with anything satanic, but it certainly has a lot to do with dead people. I mean, that's all I do is talk to dead people, right? Let's see here. Okay, so we've got Tasha and Christy, and Christy says, no question, just stopping by to say hi. Okay, well, I tell you what, since Tasha was here first, and neither one of you has asked a specific question, I'll go ahead and just give you each a reading that's, you know, that's without a question, that's unprompted. So let's start with Tasha because you were here first. And before I started, oh wow, this really seems pertinent to you. Before I started, I actually drew an angel card for myself to see what was going to guide the evening. Now for y'all, I drew Dream Big, which is a great one. But for me, I drew one, sorry, it's just really hot in here. And I'm drinking red wine, that doesn't help. So I drew one for me that said family, and it was about resolving family issues and healing and so forth. And so what I'm feeling is for Tasha, that relates to you very strongly, that the family issues about family are very important for you right now. And there's some sort of conflict there between, I'm feeling like it's between your mother and your children or your child, but I can't see specifically what that is. I'm getting that you need to back off out of it, but at the same time, I feel like that's just almost impossible. I know you. No, I don't know you. You're a different Tasha. I know two Tashas. Isn't that funny? Anyway, it just feels like you need to back off, but that's going to be impossible. Something about your mother or your child needs you to be involved because of their age or because of other circumstances. And so it's just a little tricky. And so what I can tell you is what you will do and what will happen. You will not be able to back off, but this will get resolved. And probably right around Christmas, it feels like it may not be before Christmas, unfortunately, but right around the end of the year, right around Christmas, everything just kind of goes, and then we're a family again. So I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that's helpful to you. Let's see here. Christy, happy Halloween. First time I stopped by a Ustream. Well, welcome. I hope you like it. This is kind of experimental for me as well. I've never done one that was very big. So it'll be interesting. We've got 9 people signed up tonight, so it'll be interesting to see who comes by. And Diamond Lady, I know you, but I cannot remember your first name. So if you want to chat that in, that would be great. Okay, again, now were you the one who asked before? She asks, is there anything good coming my way or anything I need to know about? Now, there was, we did a Facebook Phenom where I give free readings on Facebook, which is pretty cool. And someone asked, is there anything good coming my way? And I praised that person because I'm much more likely to get the question, is there anything bad coming up that I need to know about, that I need to be prepared for? And I think, first of all, I just won't even let you ask a question that way. I'm going to just tell you what good stuff is coming. Because if you're already in that mindset that something bad is coming, do you know how powerful your thoughts are? You know, you really want to think, oh, what good is coming my way? So I'm glad that Diamond Lady asked that. So let me take a look at yours. Oh, and Christy, don't worry, I will. Actually, I'll do you first because you were here before Diamond Lady. So, okay, so let's look at Christy. Christy K. Excuse me. Okay, for you, I'm getting, Christy, for you, I see a sunset, and then I see this, literally like a hand kind of wiping over it. And I think, in sign language, I believe this is the sign for sunset. And then I also see a sunset, and it kind of reminds me of that kind of same symbolism. It seems to me like something's coming to an end. I feel like it's probably a death in the family or of a loved one. It could even be a pet. But this feels like there's an imminent death or a recent death. And it feels like a very beautiful situation rather than a really tragic situation. It's a sunset. That means that it's natural. It's supposed to be this way. And so even though there's sorrow, um, it's also natural and good. And we all understand that death is just a rebirth into a different plane of existence. And John Edward, the famous psychic medium, always says that your relationship continues after one of you dies, but it just takes on a different way of being. So remember that, Christy, and know that you can connect with this loved one, even if it's a pet, which I keep getting as a possibility. You can still connect with your loved one. Everybody can. You need to be calm. So it needs to be a time when you're not in deep grief or sorrow or anxiety about it, but a time when you're feeling peaceful. I find that the time between asleep and awake is some of my most spiritually connected time. And if I get up quickly, I also find that the time in the shower is like that. I think the shower is kind of, it's very routine, it's very easy, it's very mesmerizing, it's relaxing. And so if I'm just straight up out of bed and not really fully awake, I tend to get a lot of messages and connections when I'm in the shower. So I recommend that. And you can think of your loved one and speak to him or her. And that will actually raise your spiritual vibration, raises your energy to where that they can kind of lower their vibration to meet yours. And you'll be able to feel a connection. So I wish you luck with that. I'm very sorry that about your loss. Okay. Excuse me. So we've talked about Christy, we've talked about Tasha. Now it's time for Diamond Lady, whom I praised for asking, is there anything good coming my way or anything I need to know about? So good for you. I want to stop for a station identification. Actually, this is website identification. I hope that you will visit my website, SusanKMorrow.com, and buy a reading. If you go to my website, SusanKMorrow.com, and you can do it right now because you can listen to me while you go, you'll find two things that I want you to look at. One is at the top right corner, you want to sign up for the newsletters if you haven't already, because it's I'm about to make a big announcement on Halloween. So you want to be a part of that. And the other thing I want you to look at is the second bullet point in the menu on the left. It says Home, and then under that it says Psychic Readings, Suzi-Q&A. If you click on that, it'll go to the page that details my primary reading, the Suzi-Q&A psychic reading. And at the very top, there's a secret surprise for Mercury retrograde. Okay. Hi, Clay. I will get to you in just a moment. I was about to read for Diamond Lady, but I'm really glad to see you here, so thank you for coming. Diamond Lady, let's talk to you. Again, is there anything good coming my way, which I love. Excuse me. Yeah, it's interesting. Your little handle on here as Diamond Lady makes a lot of sense because I do see you in a tiara. And when I see a tiara or a crown or anything like that in a person's crown chakra, which is on top of your head, and if you don't know about chakras, that's okay. You don't need to know about it because I'm going to explain what this means. People who have that symbolism showing up in their crown chakra or in their crown energy are what I call spiritual royalty. And so I've got sort of, over the years, I've developed sort of archetypes or soul categories from all the people whose chakras I've looked at. And those who are spiritual royalty are people like me. And so that doesn't mean that you're going to be a woo-woo weirdo who doesn't look like one. But it does mean that you have something to offer the world in terms of spirituality. Now, that literally can be, even though spirituality and religion are two completely different things, it can mean that you are a leader in your church, or that you have something to do with Christianity, which I'm kind of leaning a little bit more toward for you. But it can also mean that you can be, an angel card reader, or you can be a psychic, or you can be a philosopher. And what I'm really feeling for you, Diamond Lady, is that for you it means you are getting ready to explore some new concepts in philosophy and spirituality. New concepts to you, some of which will be really earth-shattering for you and for some other people. And with the spiritual royalty moniker, that means that you're going to help at least one or two other people, usually a lot more, in learning what they need to learn. That it doesn't mean that you're exactly a teacher. It's more of a leader, and I hope that makes sense to you. So your spiritual royalty and the concepts of spirituality and energy and law of attraction and the way things work for you, those concepts are easier for you than for most people, if that makes sense. It's easier for you to get a grasp on things, and for you to say, oh, you know what, I learned this in church, and that doesn't make sense. That doesn't seem like what Jesus had to say. And so these kind of concepts come easily to you. Don't worry about breaking rules or, blasphemy or anything like that. It's all good. Okay, so that's what good is coming up for you. And let's see, we're almost to Halloween. Everything looks pretty good through the end of the year, although I do see, what I'm talking about seems like it comes with a revelation by the end of the year. So a really good one, a really good revelation where you go, oh, wow, that's awesome. Okay, so thank you, Diamond Lady. I'm going to advertise my website again. Don't you like my little ghost? Woo, woo. All right, Clay, let's talk to you. I'm really glad you're here. It's kind of unusual. It's very unusual. I haven't ever seen you on any of my psychic events before, so that's cool. For everybody else, Clay is an old friend of mine. We talk on Facebook these days, but we haven't seen each other in years. So it's kind of fun to get to see my old friends here from my childhood. Now that I live back in my hometown, it's really cool to, kind of feel very much at home. Okay, Clay, let's talk to you. Oh, okay. You weren't here when I talked about the angel cards. Yeah, okay. So we talked about this for Tasha. If you're new here, just go ahead and chat in your question, and I'll get you a reading as quick as I can. So earlier, I drew a card for myself ahead of this event. And Clay, this speaks to you quite a bit, but it also applied to Tasha earlier. And this was the card that I drew kind of for myself, kind of to see if there was something important, an overall theme for the event. And it said family. And it says, this situation is rooted in an emotional experience with a family member, which we can help you to understand and heal. In your mind and heart, surround this person, yourself, and the experience with calming blue light and many angels. Be open to the gifts within the situation and allow yourself to find peace. Now, I happen to know that you have a family situation, and I know a little bit about it. And so it's interesting to me that I drew that card way ahead of time, and then lo and behold, here you are, and I'm like, oh, that's pertinent. So let me kind of analyze that all together. The thing is, those particular angel cards they're also by Doreen Virtue, Daily Guidance from Your Angels. And I do recommend angel cards for everyone. Clay, you used to throw tarot cards. I don't know if you still do. This particular deck is not my favorite deck. The mermaids are my favorite. But that particular deck has so many words on it that it doesn't always allow for a lot of interpretation. And that's one of the reasons that I prefer something with less. I mean, I'd rather read plain old playing cards because it's more about how I feel and what comes to me through that. So I would ignore the words about blue light and the angels and the hocus pocus, if you will. What I would look at is it's time for you to look at things a new way. You have been going along for quite a while. Here, I just realized I'm all glary at y'all. But you've been going along for quite a while, kind of in the same thought pattern. And it's time for an idea that you've been turning over in your mind to start to come to the fore, so that whatever this is you've been thinking of that will possibly improve your situation, it's time to act on that. So it's been, kind of rolling around your mind for so long now, it almost seems like it's just an old idea that doesn't even, that just crosses your mind every once in a while, kind of out of habit. But whatever this is, this is when you're about to embark on that idea that's going to bring about positive change for you and your family. Yeah. I know you've talked about moving to Austin, and that could be what this is. If you've been thinking about that move for a really long time, that's probably it. And the reason is that I see curtains, and I know that's it's a simple thing, but it seems like this is your house, and there's a little valance or a short curtain over a window, and packing is going on around it. And so that's what that made me think of. I was like, oh yeah, he wants to move to Austin. Maybe that's what that is. It may not be that, but there is definitely something coming very soon. And Clay, since you don't know, you haven't experienced my work before, I learned not to tell people what they should do, but what they will do, because they will never do what I tell them they should do. Break up with this person. It's toxic for you. It's bad for you. No such luck. So then I go on to say, you're going to stay with this person 3 more miserable years, and then it's going to end badly. Happy birthday. No, I'm kidding. I do try to specialize in good news, and I do see the outcome of this change for you being very positive. November seems to be a big month for you. It seems like there's just a lot going on. It seems like more mentally and emotionally than actually physically. Like, I don't know that you're going to be doing a lot physically, but it just seems like there's a lot going on. So keep that in mind and go with your idea. Trust yourself. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Yeah. You're very good at taking care of yourself, but I just got the message to let you know that it's really good to lean on people sometimes. So make sure that you do that. Okay. Thank you, Clay. I'm so glad you're here again. Thank you very much. Let's see here. You do still want to move to Austin. I assume that's what you meant by that. Diamond Lady, thank you. You're very welcome. And Ruby, let's see, what do I need to know? All right, well, let's take a look at Ruby. Oh, hold on. Station break. Gotta plug the old website. SusanKMorrow.com, where you can get fantastic, blow your mind, psychic readings, as well as a number of other things. Sign up for my newsletter and get a free report. 12 woo-woo tips for living in the real world. You can also click on the very second bullet point in the menu that says Psychic Readings, Suzi-Q, and there's a pleasant little Mercury retrograde surprise there. If you can't get to it, that's because Mercury is retrograde. And if you don't know what that means, that's okay. You can Google it later. All right, let's see here. Good, Clay. I'm glad you understand. All right, Ruby. What do I need to know? Let's take a look at Ruby. And I'll let y'all look at this while I think. Ruby, I don't think you were here earlier when I mentioned that I was at the grocery store this evening, and I heard Kenny Rogers singing Coward of the County, and that song used to always make me cry. So I tried not to listen to it. And now, of course, tune in and see Ruby on my screen, and it immediately makes me start singing that song by Kenny Rogers. So it's probably not even really your name. By the way, yes, I'm having my blood. It's actually just a really tacky wine that tastes like chocolate-covered strawberries. It's delicious. What can I say? It's also, it does not make you drunk, which is kind of sad. Okay, sorry, Ruby, let's get back to you. Hold on, Clay. I saw you come up, but I can't read it without my glasses, so let me look at Ruby. Okay, oh. Okay, well, I get a horse immediately. And, you know, without knowing anything about you and without you being able to respond to me, it's a little tricky because I instantly see this horse. I was going to say horses, and then I was corrected. It is a horse, one horse. And I see a drawing of the horse and then the actual horse itself. And the drawing is just in black and white, just of the head. So this seems significant to you. And I'm also getting the word Mustang, which I know is a wild horse, but it's also a car. So this horse could actually be about your car. I mean, we have to work on interpretation sometimes. Okay, so the horse seems fine. It seems like you have, okay, all right. I've learned to just throw stuff out there because the way that it comes in, because no matter how strange or silly or banal it might sound, so often it means something. So here's the feeling, and here are the words that I'm getting, that you are pining away for this horse. So I don't know if it means that you're wanting the car that's the Mustang, or you actually used to have a horse that died, or there's a horse that you want, something to do with horses, okay, or with this particular horse. So I need to tell you what you need to know about that. Okay, I'm getting that it's time to let go of the pining away, the longing. And when you do, as you do, that everything comes clear. And it's interesting because I can kind of feel a little snap, like in the next, I don't know, month maybe, sometime in the next month, you kind of go, and you let go, you snap. You let go of this pining or this longing, and all of a sudden, everything comes clear. So if it's, I'm going to leave that to your interpretation because I feel like it's making sense to you, and I'm not going to make any more sense by trying to figure it out. Okay, let's see here. Ruby, I was born in the sign of the horse. Is that a Chinese horoscope? Huh. Interesting. And Clay says, thank you, and you are very welcome. And thank you again for being here. I love having you. Ruby, you were born in the sign of the horse. Okay, so if that's what the horse symbolism is about, and you have a longing or a pining for this horse, and when you let go of it, everything becomes clear. Since you know that you were born in the sign of the horse, you must know a little bit about your astrology, your Chinese astrology. And I suspect that if you take a look at that or what's going on with the horse, that will help clarify whatever this is that's, it's hard for me to describe. And I hope that you know what I'm talking about, but it's a longing or a pining, and it's about to snap and come clear. That's the bottom line. You have a longing or a pining away regarding a horse, and it's about to snap and come clear. So give it about a month, I'd say, before Thanksgiving, and you'll be good. Sorry, that was kind of a weird one. But it's interesting that you were born in the sign of a horse. I'd be interested to know if you doodle them or, you know, like them or anything like that too. Okay, thank you so much. Anybody else have a question? You can chat in your question. In the meantime, we'll have the station ID. Ooh, SusanKMorrow.com. It's Halloween. Sign up for my newsletters and get a free report called 12 Woo-Woo Tips for Living in the Real World, baby. And And also you'll get to be privy to my announcement on Thursday, saving it for Halloween. I've got a special thing going on. I've been sitting here this evening working on a spot in the website that is going to be phenomenal. And you're going to want to see this on Thursday. So, alrighty, once again, anyone has a question? Ruby, yes, you like horses. Okay, well, good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ruby. I appreciate it. And I tell you what, if anybody wants to send me an email with more information that you're dying to tell me, it's Susan@SusanKMorrow.com, and this is how you spell it, Susan@SusanKMorrow.com. And if you'd like to send me a private message without revealing to the whole world everything you just said, feel free to. I welcome your comments, and if I get an email from you and I have anything to add for you, I'll be very happy to respond to you at no charge. So please feel free to email me at Susan@SusanKMorrow.com. Thank you for that. Hold on a second. I've got something I've got to go check on. Okay. All righty. Anybody else want to chat in a question? And I will give you a reading. Ruby, again, thank you. Okay, let's see here. Like I said, there's a special deal coming up on Thursday, so you want to be a part of that. I'm going in right now to add some code to the web page that it refers to. And I'm going to change something that will blow you away. At least I hope. Be blown away. My actions. I'm looking at action on the screen. My readings usually blow people away. I have a lot of repeat clients because once they've had one reading, they go, wow, this was so helpful. This makes my life better. This helps me to worry less. It lets me know what's going on with this. I mean, I get people asking all kinds of things about, you know, anything that you can think of. Oops, that's not right. Such as real estate, buying and selling a house, moving, changing jobs, the health of yourself or your loved ones, all kinds of things that are covered in a psychic reading, depending on what you want to know and what you need to know. I mean, one of the things that I do is to fish out exactly what you need that's unique to you. A lot of people don't even know what to ask. And so, for example, like we had someone ask, what do I need to know? And someone else asked, is there anything good coming up for me? Which is a great question. Hold on a second. Got a little bit of code stuck in there. Not cool. Okay. Yeah, I can do a little code. I mean, it's, you know, whatever. Thanks to my friend Kip Piper. I've learned quite a bit about managing a website. If you have a question and you would like a reading from me, please chat in your question on the screen and I will give you a reading right here. I've got about 20 minutes left. I hope you're enjoying a nice libation like I am. I'm having chocolate covered strawberry wine. I know it sounds gross, it sounds cheap, it sounds all high schooly, but you know, whatever, it's delicious. So let me go look and see if my little code change on the website made a difference. If you want to, you can go to the website now and see if you can find the change. Oh man, it is pretty cool. Yeah, you definitely want to go check it out. Definitely go to the website, SusanKMorrow.com, and in the upper right hand corner of any page, there's a place for you to, hold on, there's a place for you to sign up for the website. It says, sign up for the newsletters. It says sign me up. You'll get a free report, 12 woo-woo tips for living in the real world, and you'll also be privy to the special surprise announcement that I'm making on Thursday. So don't miss out. Make sure you go to SusanKMorrow.com. Yeah, I need like a little jingle. Maybe somebody could write me a jingle. And again, if you have anything extra or private that you want to let me know about, Susan@SusanKMorrow.com. And you can just email me right there, and I would love to hear from you. I will respond if there's anything that needs to be added. Oh, wow. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Oh, I'm just looking around on my computer, seeing what's happening. Take off my glasses. I can't see a damn thing. Uh, but but with them on, I can definitely look around at what's going on, see the chat, see what people are doing on Facebook, change a little code on my website, you know, whatever needs to be done. All right, Diamond Lady, sounds good to me, she says. That sounds good to me too. What else do y'all have? If you don't chat in a question, I'm going to have to talk about other things, which I'm happy to do. Oh, man, downloaded an awesome deal the other night. I happen to like a certain news comic on television who shall remain nameless because some people hate him, and I don't want to be hated by association. He's very smart and very clever and very atheist. And, you know, if you followed me at all, you probably have seen the little thing that I've made that says, if you love someone, you cannot possibly be an atheist because God is love and love is God. And some of my atheist friends really object to that. They really, really don't want to let go of the idea that there is no God. Okay, that's fine. I don't see God as there, you know, a man in the sky with a long white beard who takes down everything you do and punishes and rewards you accordingly. You know, if you pray correctly or ask for forgiveness and blah, blah, blah. A lot of the practices in religion are meant for you, not to make you feel guilty or to make you, well, they weren't originally to make you feel guilty, but they are to help you connect better with God. And so, for example, something that would cleanse your spirit and make you more godlike will make you feel that way. It doesn't have anything to do with God. God is actually, I use the word God really loosely because to a lot of people it does mean that man in the sky with a long white beard who's taking down everything you do and rewarding and punishing accordingly. So after watching my news comedian guy that I like that other people hate, oh, what the hell, it's Bill Maher. I kind of imagined a conversation with him. And, you know, an atheist might say, and I don't know, I don't have lots of conversations with atheists, but I imagine that atheists feel that the existence of God cannot be proven, and so therefore God does not exist. And I agree that God does not exist in the form that the church promotes, for the most part. I agree with that. But the idea of proof and faith, I look at it this way. God is love, and love is God, right? So, like I said in my little meme, if you love someone, you cannot possibly be an atheist. You can be anti-religion, but you have God within you. I believe that we all do. And if you want to prove it, then prove it with love, because you have felt love. You can think of someone right now that you love, and you can feel the feeling of love. That cannot be proven. That cannot be measured. Oh, sure, they can see what's firing in your brain and what's going on in your vital signs, but those are just physical responses to stimuli. That has nothing to do with love. If you believe love exists, love is God. Love is the creative force. Love is how we exist. It's how we live. And that's what I believe the soul is. And so you can call it anything you want: God, love, universe, higher self, source energy. I guess you could call it Allah, although I don't know anything about that religion. So you can call it whatever you want, but it is just what it is. And it's not a human thing. It's not something that is within humans, but it's not something that has a need for worship, a need to be worshipped, a need to be appreciated, a need to be asked forgiveness, a need or a desire to be praised and feared. That's the problem. And I wonder sometimes if I had a chance to talk to Bill Maher or to converse with another atheist who knows something, and the atheists I know are all really, really smart. I wonder, you know, if we could find some common ground on that. So that's my lecture for the moment. Let's see what else we've got. Okay, we've got about 15 minutes left. And so if you are here and you would like to get a reading, you can chat in your question on the screen and let me know what your question is. I'll be happy to give you a reading right now. Also, while we're at it, I'm going to plug my site again. Ooh, see my little ghosties? Oh, I'm so proud. So go to SusanKMorrow.com and sign up for my newsletters. They are free. You'll get a free report, 12 woo-woo tips for living in the real world. And you'll also be privy to all of the surprises and information, including the big one coming up on Thursday. I'm really excited about this. It's going to be awesome. Wait, I have to double check. I was just working on my website a little bit, changing the code to get ready for this surprise. Woo, it worked. All right. So be sure to go to the website, visit the website, and see what you see there. You also might want to read my blog. I've had some interesting stuff lately. Specifically, you might be interested in my my 9/11 premonition and my story of the premonition I had that my husband was going to die. That was called How I Knew He Was Going to Die. And I think I'm going to write up that that little deal that I just told you about love is God and God is love. I think I'm going to write that up, and I don't know if I'll use Bill Maher or just Bill. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it's a conversation. We'll see how it comes out. I always do it the way that I'm inspired to do. Speaking of, you know, I drew a card earlier from my Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck by Doreen Virtue, PhD, highly recommended. And the card that I drew was Dream Big, let go of small thoughts about yourself and see yourself succeeding. And I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? I've been working on my novel, and not as much as I would have liked to. Not for any other reason than laziness. I could have found the time. But I had promised myself at the beginning of the year that I would finish it by the end of the year. At least a first draft. I mean, I'd really like for it to be completely finished. But when I started working on it, it was tough. I mean, this is the first novel that I've written a couple, but this is the first one that I've really felt cohesive with, and felt like it's an entity unto itself. So I started working on it, and it would come to me and it would bug me and it would go, well, let's put this in the story, let's do this in the story. And it wrote itself and it made itself all dark and delicious and fabulous. And now it's coming up to the end of the year and I've got to get this thing done. And it's a little overwhelming because there are so many parts of the story. And what I'm doing mentally is narrowing those parts down so that I can do a second book that will be a prequel, which was part of the plan from some point. But the first book I need to keep it clean and simple, and there's so much that needs to go into it. So it's a challenge. And so I'm looking at that card that says Dream Big, and I'm thinking, yeah, I can do this. I'm up to this challenge. And so I want you to feel like you can do it as well. Okay, we're a little ahead of the hour, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off and wish everyone a happy Halloween. Do I look like a werewolf? I think I do. These are actually glow in the dark. Let's see here. Okay, I'm just being ridiculous. You gotta have fun. You gotta have fun. So put some fun in your day and in your Halloween. I wish you a very happy Halloween, and in the meantime, know where to find me. Thank you everyone for being here. I really, really appreciate it. It was lovely to see you, and I look forward to next time. So until next time, be good.